So in this clip, I want to show you how to solve question 7 from quiz 1 using Excel. The issue here is, in that question, there are 4 observations, x1 to x4. We're given 3 of them, the first 3, which have values 3, 8, and 7. I already replicated these values here. And we want to choose the 4th such that the sample standard deviation is equal to this value here, 3.30438. Now, we know sample standard deviation is the square root of a variance. The variance calculates the sort of average squared deviation from the mean. So it's a quadratic equation. You could actually solve that equation for x4 and you would get 2 possible values. That's why there are 2 fields here. Okay, but let's say, and that's absolutely right to do that. You can write that down and solve for x4. But let's see how we can use Excel. So I have these 3 values here. I put, for the time being, a value of 0 in x4. You could put any sort of value in here. And here's our target value. That's the value we want. And the standard deviation, let me calculate the standard deviation, the sample standard deviation here of these 4 values. Sorry, stdev.s. Okay, so you see right now it's too high, the sample standard deviation. So you could think about, you could actually change the values. You see it changes and you could do some trial and error that may or may not lead you to the solution. Okay, let's start with 0 again. How do we use Excel? We use the solver tool that's in the data tab, but it's an add-in. So you have to use your downloaded Excel version, not the online version. If you don't see solver, then you have to add the add-in. You go to File, Options, Add-ins, and then Manage Excel Add-ins. Go and you see I've already have solver add-in ticked. If you haven't got it ticked, then tick it and then click OK. Or click Cancel here. And then in the Data tab you will see solver. It's like the data analysis tool. So let's open the solver. So what do we want? We want B8. Yeah, that's already right. I tried that before. Okay, that is going to be our objective. We want to set that equal to a particular value, and this is the particular value, 3.304038. You have to type that in, of course. And now, importantly, by changing what? Well, by changing cell B5. Okay, B5 is that 4th observation. Then, by default, often this box is ticked. You want to untick that to allow for negative values if we need a negative value to solve for that. Now you click Solve, and you get a result. Solver found a solution. Keep solver solution. Okay. Oh, close. And you see here the solution it found was the value of 1. So if x4 takes value 1, then the sample standard deviation is exactly that. So basically what that solver tool does is it's sort of a trial and error mechanism, okay, which I will not explain further, which takes whatever value you put in first, which was 0, and sees, okay, how much do I need to change that to get my target value for the standard deviation? It found 1. Okay, so 1 it found. It's a solution. Now, you see 1, this is smaller, quite much smaller than the sample mean. Now, what about that second solution? So let's type in 1. We don't know yet whether it's the larger or smaller solution. We'll put that in here. So the second solution you will find larger than the mean. Okay, the second solution will be larger than the mean. We don't know exactly what it is. So let's, for instance, if we type in a 6, of course the mean will also change. Okay, the mean is exactly 6. Let's put an 8 in. Okay, so this is now larger than the mean of 6.5. That changes with that. Let's go back to the solver. It's exactly the same setting. The only thing that has changed is now our starting value, which is 8. And let's try and solve this. Okay, found a solution. Which solution did it find? 11. Okay, if x4 is 11, then the sample standard deviation will also be 3.304. So let's see 11 and let's try this. How did I do? Yes, and we got the right solution. Now, really, you have to you may have to try a little bit with your starting values. We started with 0 and 8 and found the two values. But for instance, if I started here with 4, most likely we will find 1 again. You can't really predict exactly which value you would find. Let's see. Oh, close. Yeah, okay, it found 1 again, or something very close to 1. So really, to find the second solution, you have to approximately have an idea where it is. We knew it had to be larger than the mean. Let's start with 9 instead of 8. We'll go to a solver. We should find 11 again. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't keep the solution. Solve. Keep solution. Yeah, it has found 11 again. Okay. So this is how you use solver to solve that question.